Good morning. If you want to see how we retrofitted this old workbench with 8 pull-out oak drawers, stay tuned because that's what we're going to do today. Good morning and welcome to Memphis Monday 213, the 5th video of year 5. Today we're going to be overhauling our large workbench. There's got some design features that are driving me crazy and I want to fix it. But let's knock off the chit chat and go over there and see what those design flaws are. Here's our big cabinet we need to redesign and refurbish. My main problem with it is I don't like these cabinets. I'd rather have drawers that I can pull out, 100% pull out drawers, so things are easier to get to. If you remember about a year ago or more, I built this temporary low workbench for a large project. I don't remember which one. But now I think I'm going to take it apart and use the running gear to put underneath that big workbench. I think everybody likes to work at a convenient level, but I think I take it to extremes though, don't I? Okay, I'm putting in the little sideboards here, dividing this thing up into rows where I can attach these. I'll be attaching these. This big cabinet was never designed to have drawers, so I've got to design it in such a way that I can square up the area here for the drawers. And how I've done that is see how that headboard moves down there at that end. That way I can adjust it in or out to square up the and here you can see how I'm doing that. I've got a square piece of plywood. I've got the entire drawer there all squared up with those pieces of plywood. And now I can attach everything in the back. And this divider here, I'll attach it. Well, I got all these little boards in here. There's no big deal. I just cut little sections of board for my drawer guides to fit on. I got this first drawer guide in. I'm putting 22-inch drawer guides in, 100% pull out, 75-pound test. And if you've watched any of my other videos, how I put these in is I take a little spacer at the, that's the thickness. I want the drawer guide off the floor. Tell you what, installing these drawer guides is kind of tedious. Put you on the time machine and come back when something happens. Camera inside the cabinet so you can see what I'm doing. Putting 4 screws in, each one. This is the actual inner slide. And I take my little spacer out. And that's all she wrote. It's on to cut the wood for the boxes for the drawers. We're going to start making some drawer boxes now. The boxes for the top row. I'm going to be using kind of a different technique on these drawers. It might be interesting. Let me go ahead and put this together and show you what we're doing. testing data to prove it, but I personally think this is one of the strongest ways to make drawers, like for your shop. Okay, so now I've checked this piece of 1/2-inch plywood, and it's perfectly square. I'm gonna lay it on the back here. Now I'm gonna square this box using this bottom. So how I do it is, I set it perfectly right along this back wall here. Now staple it in place. This is the other side. We did the side down there. Okay, now I just center it on this side, and that should square the box up. And you can also take the warp out of the plywood, like I'm doing now. Okay, now we'll see if the box fits. Okay, it looks like it fits. Here we have the box in the drawer. Of course, we want some clearance underneath the box. So let's figure out how much clearance we want, and then we can decide how much of space we want. I went with a 1/2-inch spacer here. That'll get the bottom off the bottom of the shelf there. And that means that I'll be wanting my spacer here to be about 3 inches. If I line that spacer up with the bottom of the box, you can see that that edge right there lines up with the center of the... So here I just take my spacer, and remember we measured from the bottom, and put my spacer right there, and line it up with the bottom. I can feel it's lined up. Put me a mark. Then my inner drawer guide lines up. See, no big deal. You see the line goes right through the center of all my marks. Then I got my big honking screws here that go right into those holes. And here's our drawer. Works perfect. Of course, we still have to put our drawer fronts on here, but I'll build all the rest of the boxes and get them installed, and then we'll start working on the... Okay, we got all the boxes installed. Now it's time to put the drawer fronts on. And now, these drawer fronts at the top will be 10 inches wide, and the ones at the bottom will be 15 inches. Some drawer fronts on another piece of our equipment, and I want this round over detail. Doors all sanded up. What I've got the top row up here just laying on a cleat. A cleat is just a temporary piece of strapping. You can see the screw right there that I put in there, and I made it wide enough, about 1.5 inches, so it gives me a good ledge to put those on. What I'm doing here is I've drilled holes, countersunk holes, 2 different places on the front of the drawer front. And then I'll attach the drawer front, and then I'll attach my drawer pull right there, which will hide the 2 screws. But these screws right here are just temporary. It'll just hold it tight while I put the regular screws. These old fronts are pretty big and heavy. So I'm going to put 2 screws, or 4 screws in each one. Drawer front is attached from the inside. I can take these temporary screws out. Okay, I showed you how to line up the drawers fronts on that cleat and how to install the, I'll go ahead and get the other 3 drawer fronts on there, and I'll show you what's on the top row is installed. What I'm doing now is taking this cleat off, and I'll move the cleat down here to the bottom, like that, so that we can install the bottom. There's a chance to think of warp over time, especially if it gets wet or it's out in the weather or whatever. I'll show you what I'm doing to fix that. So to ensure that this solid wood door doesn't warp or twist or bend, I've installed 4 screws back here, into the drawer, which means it's now backed up against this part of the box, so that will stabilize it. Plus it's got the screws that go through to the handle, so it's got a total of 6 screws holding it to this. Okay, let me go ahead and put these last 3 drawer fronts on, and we'll put some finish on this thing. Here I'm putting the finish on. What I'm using is one of those polyurethane stain mixes, and at least in this application, it's really working out good. I found that the polyurethane stain mixes work well with light colored stains, but not as well with dark. Well, here's our project for Memphis Monday 213. We retrofitted 8 drawers into this old workbench. They're almost 2 feet deep. Nice big drawers. We got the high dollar drawer pull-outs that are 100% pull out. Finished it in this oak stain. Came out real nice. And overall, well, that does it for another Memphis Monday 213, the 5th video of our 5th year. Today we retrofitted 8 deep drawers into this old workbench. You know, sometimes a project just comes together, and it really did this time, because I think it just looks absolutely stunning. But anyway, like and favorite and Facebook and tweet and poke and peek and all the stuff you do on the internet. But most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.